With Bad Batch Season 2 just around the corner, I would like to talk about Clone Wars again. How good was that final season? Episodes 1 through 4 and 9 through 12 are truly phenomenal pieces of Star Wars media. The season starts off with the Bad Batch arc, which is all around solid, even if it drags a bit at the end. And then everything is topped off with the final 4 episodes, which correlate with the climactic events of Revenge of the Sith. The first half of those, being the final siege of Mandalore, would have to be the highlight of the season, with that god-tier Ahsoka and Maul duel, which may be one of the best fights in the whole franchise, hands down. The last 2 episodes are also pretty great. A couple plot holes were bugging me while I was watching, but for the most part, it's an incredible finale. But wait, I hear you cry, why did you leave out an entire third of the season? Why, I'm glad you asked, Strawman. Let's talk about that. I'm gonna come clean with you guys. I lied to you. 2008 Clone Wars is not nearly perfect. In fact, the first 2 seasons have a very rocky start, with episodes ranging from middling to, oh yeah, that was pretty good. Hell, even in the later seasons, some of the episodes just kind of, However, in its defense, even some of my favorite shows of all time have stinkers. Justice League has the Star-Crossed arc, and Samurai Jack has an entire season with its contents being either amazing or terrible with barely any in-between. Almost no program with high acclaim is without its flaws. Sometimes you have to sit through a "there's a Batman in my basement" before you can have your heart of ice. Which brings us to the subject of today. Season 7, episodes 5 through 8 of Star Wars The Clone Wars are arguably among the worst episodes I've seen in this show's entire run. Let's dive in! After the Bad Batch arc ends, we start episode 5 with Ahsoka Tano, who has no idea where she's going. Since the last time we saw her, she abandoned the Jedi Order. The bike starts to break down and she crashes onto the landing pad outside a repair shop. Suddenly we have to look at Trace Martez, who already insults me on 2 fronts. Face? Hair. She offers to let Ahsoka use her shop to fix the bike. She reluctantly accepts. All seems to be going well and gay until... Pay me!
No.
We live to freeload another day. Trace thinks the jaundiced stranger can help out, so she brings Ahsoka to meet her sister Rafa. She's our typical smuggler archetype, except minus the charm that makes this kind of character likable and... what's the word? Fun.
You could have at least given me a heads up that you weren't gonna pay him.
You're right. Won't happen again.
Good. I can only take so many punches to my head and still be considered a pilot.
We'll come back to this line later. A job comes in for our crew so they can pay off some of those pesky bills. Trace and Ahsoka are sent to the sweatshop to make some robots.
Just make sure you affix the restraining bolt to that pile of moving parts before you punch the power cycle.
Well, good thing we put the restraining bolts on.
Trace! That's my droid! Where is it going?
It's a test run! Nothing to worry about!
This isn't funny, Trace!
So Trace, forgetting to do one of the most important things when it comes to performing maintenance on droids, allows the mechanical titan to go on a rampage across the city. I'm starting to think I don't like this character. Trace and Ahsoka chase after the monstrosity for a good bit until finally catching up to it. Trace manages to luck out and disable it just in the nick of time, but oh no, she's gonna fall! Ahsoka, despite not being forklift certified, grabs the droid at the right moment, but it starts tipping over the ledge. She uses the winch in an attempt to anchor it back, but to no avail. And then, with no options left, the former Jedi uses the Force to pull the cart onto the platform, yada yada yada. You totally saw this coming, don't deny it. But wait, what about Trace? Did she plummet to her death? Nah, she's okay. Cut to next scene where Ahsoka is trying to convince the lower class to dismantle their only current source of income.
Trace, did you put the bolt on all 3?
Yeah, but what if one comes off?
Bitch, no you didn't. People almost died. And so our episode ends with Rafa doing the responsible adult thing of completing her job so she can pay off her loans, while Ahsoka heads back to the shop with Trace to fix up her bike. Not a good episode, but not an awful episode either. Just kind of meh. I sort of like where this is going. Ahsoka acting as a good Samaritan for anyone in the Coruscant ghetto who needs it. It's a nice idea for a filler arc packed with little mini adventures. I wonder who she'll help out next.
In their short time together, Ahsoka realizes not everyone sees the Jedi as heroes, a lesson she only recently learned herself.
Oh, I see how it is now. This is the game we're playing. Alright then, let's do this. So I guess we're stuck with these 2. Not the worst thing that could happen.
That must have been some academy you went to topside.
Yeah, the best.
What was it called?
Skywalker Academy.
Well, this is gonna be a long one.
Impressive is coming up. Once the Silver Angel revs up its hyperdrive.
That is a terrible name for a starship, and you should feel terrible.
That's why you should stick around.
Oh god, please don't.
So you'll stay a little while longer at least. That way we can test the Silver Angel.
All right.
Fuck. So Rafa jumps in with the new job, and she's intentionally vague about the details.
You mean you need the best pilot around and the fastest ship you know?
Yes, to both of those.
Ugh.
You ever thought you might be the trouble she needs to stay away from?
Okay, where in the hell did that come from? Ahsoka has hardly done anything to you so far except give you criticism and, oh right, the poor shaming.
Welcome aboard the Silver Angel.
The Silver Angel? You should rethink that.
Yes, please continue bullying her over this, thank you. We depart the planet and jump into hyperspace when...
This is exciting. I've never been to hyperspace before.
What? What have you been flying?
Oh, mainly speeders, you know? Maintenance vehicles, whatever I could get my hands on.
Truly a great sign of things to come. We arrive on Kessel to pick up the payload, and things would be going smoothly if someone would stop talking.
I've got one of the fastest ships around, because we've got the fastest ship around.
Oh my god, shut up, you fucking... Of course, Ahsoka, being a former Jedi, has reservations about smug druggling, and begins to show signs of being a snitch. Hey, maybe wait till you're out of the drug lord's line of sight before you start shit-talking about the job. As we approach the ship, Rafa actually raises a decent point about the transit, as the smaller transport is less likely to be suspect.
You know a lot about Kessel for a mechanic.
I've heard the stories.
Then you better hope the pilot of the Silver Angel is as good as she says she is.
Boom! Got him!
I'm starting to see why Rafa didn't originally hire you for this job. It's dangerous.
That's just your nerves talking.
No, I'm serious. Running Spice is no simple transport mission.
Rafa looks out for me. Sure, I wasn't her first choice for this job, but she wouldn't have asked me to do it if she didn't believe I could.
No, she's just that desperate and maybe kind of a tard.
How many times has Rafa done a job like this?
I don't think she ever has.
So how can she possibly know what we're up against?
Hey, there's a first time for everything.
And that confirms it. Christ. Look at these bad men. They have drug. They even have slave. They are bad. As we jump back into hyperspace after picking up the droog, Rafa lets it slip that the delivery is going to Obadiah, the home of the Pikes. Ahsoka takes issue with this.
Like the fact that the Pikes are gangsters.
Gangsters?
They'll take your ship, your life, everything.
Oh no, don't tell the autist that. Ahsoka does, however, despite the questionable decisions leading up to this point, raise a good alternative.
Why not make the best of a bad situation and deliver this spice to someplace that can use it for medicine?
So, what do you think the best solution for this is? A. Finish the spice run as you're being paid to do and question the morality of your actions later. Or B. Take a detour, sell the payload to a medical center, and seek protection under the Republic for a while.
Think of all the good you can do by helping us finish this job.
I said no one is taking my ship!
You chose C. Have a spurg out over the 3% chance the Pikes commandeer your ship and jettison the cargo. Wait, fucking what?
You fucking little, you fucking fool, asshole, fucking buffoon, you bumbling idiot. Fuck you.
Yep, you heard and saw that right. While I can put maybe a bit of blame on Ahsoka for fear-mongering, I'll have to place most of it on the shoulders of dipshit Munch over here, who's more concerned about losing my Thomas trains than anything else.
I dumped the spice. Problem solved. Neither one of you gets your way, and I keep my ship. You're welcome. I can only take so many punches to my head, and still be considered a pilot.
Here's an idea. Maybe you guys should throw the remaining dead weight out the airlock while you're at it. A loving family bond can only be pushed so far. So what's the plan now? Well, the options are sell the ship, or turn tail and get some other jobs to pay off the debt with the Pikes. Or, third option, land on the planet and attempt to Jedi mind trick them into thinking they have the shipment long enough for you to make an escape. Okay. Oh, what's that? That only works on one individual at a time unless you're skilled enough in the Force, and the Pikes are notoriously too strong-willed to be easily deceived? Wow, what are the odds? And of course, our heroes get caught bullshitting and are promptly captured, meaning we get to see more of them. Yay!
Just so you know, when they interrogate me, I'm blaming the whole thing on you.
Between the three of us, there's plenty of blame to go around.
We open episode 7 in the Pike prison, where Ahsoka is hard simping for Trace over her mistake of dumping the spice, even though it was the complete opposite in the previous episode.
I can't believe this, but I agree with her.
Will you listen to this? We got a regular Jedi here.
What if I was?
Don't kid around.
You didn't tell her, did you?
Turns out that the Martezes don't really like the Jedi all that much. This is not a new thing for the average citizen in the galaxy. We've already established earlier in the series, and in much better episodes, that general opinions on the Jedi and the Republic are rather mixed. For Clone Wars, this is par for the course, but it's a bit tiresome to hear it from unlikable muff divers. Hell, bring the funny lemurs from Season 1 back to lecture us about Jedi bad. I'd easily take that over 2 walking buzz cuts. Our mummy and daddy died because the funny space mugs killed them. You know, that is really sad to hear. Not because they're dead, but because the only trace they have left in this world, the only thing they have left to be remembered by, is you. Ruh-roh, it's time for Rafa to get sent to the pit. Ooh, hit her again. I should make that my wallpaper. Rafa tries to weasel her way out of questioning, but it doesn't work. We get another tired exchange between Trace and Ahsoka before the guards come back, and now it's Trace's turn to get the Guantanamo treatment. Oh, God. Yes, please. Okay, did that seriously just work? Of course, she doesn't make it there as she breaks free with the help of the other inmates. You fucking cowards. Alright, this is gonna sound real messed up out of context, but Clone Wars is not a show that shies away from killing kids or putting them through hell. Even though it's often implied instead of depicted, allowing that kind of theme to slip by greatly strengthens the staunch anti-war message prevalent throughout the series. There's nothing wrong with giving younger audiences a sampling of reality's cruel horrors. So the rest of the episode is a daring prison break. There's a couple decent action sequences, and halfway through the extended chase sequence, we learn that Bo-Katan and a couple Night Owls are kind of here now, and just so happen to be looking for Ahsoka. You know what? I don't care how you got here. Can we move the story over to you guys, please? Wait, we're finally ditching these 2 idiots? Okay, I can work with that. Shit. Never mind. Ahsoka jumps in to save the day, but it's all for naught as our trio is cornered once again, thus bringing us back to where we started and making this whole episode entirely pointless. Why? Why would you make me go through all that? Episode 8. We're still here.
Let's look at how we got here.
We're here because you convinced Trace to dump the spice, and she did.
How are we still trying to pretend there's blame to be shared?
I never told her to do that.
Wait, so you're blaming me for this?
Yes! You poofy-haired, cock-slurping, lead-poisoned goblin! After some more bickering and arguing about who's on first, we meet with Mark Krim and start negotiations.
Where is my spice?
They hid the spice off-world. I don't know where. Send them to go get it and give them 1 rotation. If they don't come back, I'll tell you where their family's from.
I so wish she wasn't bluffing right now. So the Pikes agree with the terms, and now we finally have our annoying Latinas off-screen, and I spoke too soon, as they begin to hatch a rescue plan to steal crack from the Pikes to give it back to them. While that's happening, we have Ahsoka setting charges to sabotage one of the Pikes' facilities, and then we encounter a familiar face.
Well, there, Jedi.
I missed you so much. Please come back. You've done nothing wrong, my beautiful angel. Ahsoka gets captured again as the Pikes catch on to her infiltration. And then, oh great, we're back here again. The workers catch on to what the Martezes are doing, but I don't really care anymore. They're not gonna get killed off anytime soon, so why do I keep hoping for it? As much as I would really like this lizard man to bite Rafa's face off, we can't always get what we want.
See ya, pal.
Look, that guy was just doing his job. He didn't deserve that. So the Martezes make it back, but it seems there's been a change of plans, as the Pikes now wish to execute Ahsoka and the Bimbos after revealing the former Jedi's true identity. But the explosives that Togruta primed earlier go off as the gang makes their final escape. They land back on Coruscant, and this terrible arc finally ends as our Mandalorian friends catch up with Ahsoka to ask for aid. So that was the Martez arc. That was irritating. The main issue with these episodes is the protagonists that were introduced, and that's what creates every other problem. From dialogue to the action scenes, none of it really matters if you have almost no reason to be invested in the story's central characters, because if they annoy the piss out of you and, unlike Ahsoka here, hardly have any redemption or progression, what really is the point in caring about them in the first place? And you might be thinking, oh, this isn't too bad. Since Season 7 debuted on a streaming platform, then that means the whole thing debuted at once, right? Nope. Just like with television, you wait a week after each episode, and these are what we had to look forward to after years of waiting for a conclusion to such a beloved series. I'd almost take that droid filler arc if this weren't essential canon. Keyword, almost. But hey, at least most of the other cool stuff Filoni made has been turning out okay.
I knew you were a killer.
Oh.